Hello everyone, and it is Sunday afternoon, the 19th of April for the week commencing, obviously Monday the 20th, and I'm just going to be having a look at the US dollar index compared to versus the major minor currencies. So having a look at the dollar index here, or the dollar basket, you can see again we still have no clear direction. We've got a mixture of different highs and lows. We're still hovering and pivoting around this 100 level, so clearly this is a crucial level for the dollar index. If we look at it from a monthly basis, we had a very indecisive candle in the month of March. Month of April is still attempting to get over that line. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to succeed, but I can certainly see here where its intention is to get through that. So this week I'll be largely monitoring this to see if we do indeed break above it, and should we manage to flow up towards 103 again. Alternatively, do we break below the low here closer towards 98.80 and start heading south? And we're still very much range bound, so the price action can of course just do exactly as it pleases. There is no clear trend at this point in time, but it does still appear to be leaning towards trying to get back over this 100 level. Having a look at euro dollar, same thing again, just looking at this increased volatility and the wild swings on the weekly basis. On this weekly chart, we can see around that 1.09 level that it is still undecided as to which way it wants to go. It still looks a little bit more bearish than bullish, and that can be largely influenced by the US dollar index. Then having a look at sterling, the big thing for me this coming week is that a lot of these other currencies, Aussie dollar, Kiwi dollar, cable, have all come back up on their weekly charts within the weekly downtrends back up into the moving averages. And this is where I'm going to be looking to see if there is perhaps a break to the downside. But even here, looking at the monthly, there's a very strong rejection of the low, and some potential for bullish divergence there. So actually there is this fork in the road for which way the US dollar is going to go, and ultimately of course if it rejects that 100 level, we could see a lot of these currencies strengthen. So we've got some nice little bullish candles sitting up here off previous resistance, looking nice and bullish here. I'll be looking through Monday and Tuesday to see if we break the high of this and then continue up, and especially if we do break this previous high. So far the daily trend is very much to the upside, and the weekly is retracing within a larger kind of no clear trend on that monthly basis. So it doesn't really add to it the clarity that much. Looking at Aussie dollar, US dollar, we pull back, nice little bullish candle, very nice uptrend here on that daily. Same thing again, we still have that retracement within a downtrend on the weekly, and an indecision candle here. So break of the low, this candle would indicate that this market is looking to head lower and would support the idea of a stronger US dollar. And so again, you can see it's a fork in the road. Which way is it ultimately going to go? It really just means looking at it on Monday and Tuesday and looking to see which way it ultimately breaks, and then starting to trade in line with that. So you can see here as well, strong rejection of the lows on the monthly, bullish candle indicating the potential for a retracement here, which would bring it back up towards 0.67, 0.68 to test this level for resistance. So again, there is still the potential for this to continue to trend higher, much more in line with that daily trend, before encountering the resistance higher up and then perhaps kind of resuming the longer term prevailing downtrend. Kiwi dollar, US dollar, same thing again, but this one not looking as bullish. Not much of a higher high here. Is attempting to continue to move up, has produced a bit of a red sort of indecision, slightly bullish candle up in the moving averages here. They're all looking nice and bearish, so the prevailing sort of flow at this point is to the downside. And again, I'll be looking for a break of the low here. So looking at the weekly, there is a very real possibility of a lot of these breaking to the downside. If they break the lows of their candles, likely to see the US dollar strengthen, and a lot of these currencies actually resume their downtrends. Looking at the monthly, a lot of them are showing indecision. They are to the downside. There is a downtrend. They may well want to break up and start to carry on retracing to the upside in line with the daily. So we've got a daily uptrend versus that weekly downtrend. And so it is one of those waiting for the markets to show clarity. Dollar yen not offering any real clear trend, certainly not on the daily, not on the weekly, and certainly not on the monthly. So this is certainly one that I would not be looking for trading opportunities on at all. And it doesn't even add any clarity towards the potential for the US dollar. Same thing with dollar Swissy, still very much stuck within its range, rejecting the lows, no clear trend on the daily, no clear trend on the weekly. So it doesn't really help clarify the picture, and of course it doesn't really offer any tradable opportunities. Now looking at dollar CAD, strong rejection of that 0.1647 level, and a retracement coming back down towards these moving averages, and really would love to see it come back to test these previous highs closer towards 1.35. And then looking for opportunities to the upside. So it does have a downtrend on the daily, but it's not super bearish. It's a very weak kind of downtrend, which actually implies the possibility, the potential for this to turn around and start to strengthen. So again, I still see that potential leaning at this point at least 60-40 towards a US dollar, attempting to break through that 100 and strengthen this week. But as I said, a lot of the charts, especially dollar yen, dollar Swiss yen, dollar CAD, not really giving a lot of potential clarity there. Sometimes it is very clear which way it's going to go. Right now, it's the other pairs as well are sitting on the fence and waiting for the weekly versus the daily to see which one wins.